Good morning. It's been a while. At the end of the video, if you stick around, I'll share why I've been a little bit missing. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my top 3 tips on how I've used ChatGPT the past year. That's really helped me immensely. I'm using GPT a lot more now, just in terms of just getting information, doing tasks, summarizing information. There's a lot, and it's really just helped me save so much time. Okay, so let's dive in. So I'm going to use the example of losing weight, because I have gained a little bit of weight more recently and thought, let's use that. So I'm going to show how not to use ChatGPT, but then how you can actually improve on it with these 3 tips that I've learned and applied that have helped immensely. So I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, so our first tip is, this is not the main tip, but I didn't know this, but you can actually use ChatGPT without logging in. So the way you do that is you'll see the option, if I just go back, try it first instead of logging in or signing up. So I actually didn't know that, so I'm going to do that now. So let's say I want to lose weight, and that might be the first question that comes to my mind. So I might type, how can I lose weight? So the problem with that is it's just too broad. So it is giving me some general ideas though. So losing weight comes down to creating calorie deficit or burning more. So we've got, track calories, mode reduction, focus on nutrient-dense foods, exercise regularly. So all very kind of general information. And it is helpful, but what gives you results that are more what you'll be looking for is the first thing is to give it context. I'm just going to write some notes actually as well. So give me a moment. Okay, I'm just going to share this one. Okay, so how to use ChatGPT. Okay, so one is give it context. So just make this a bit bigger. So let's now go back to that example. And now we're going to give it context. Context, what does that mean? It means more information about yourself in the case of you want to lose weight. So for example, my ethnicity might affect, what I might do. So I'm going to say, this is more about me. I'm, Indonesian background. I'm 40 years old. I hate the gym. I love the outdoors. Okay. Give me more tailored tips. So now basically it says, thanks for sharing more about yourself since you love outdoors, aren't a fan of the gym. These are some things you can do. Outdoor activities, walking, hiking, cycling, swimming, eating strategies for weight loss. So considering your Indonesian background, it's important to make sure your diet feels familiar and enjoyable. So eat foods you love, focus on whole unprocessed foods, reduce refined carbs, portion control, etc. Adapting your diet to your age and lifestyle, so protein, meal timing, etc. Stay active at the gym, so bodyweight exercise at home. daily steps goal, etc. Mindset and motivation. So as you're getting older, it's easy to feel frustrated. So then find outdoor communities, etc., etc. So it even gives me a bit of a meal plan, so daily meal plan, breakfast, bowl of oatmeal, lunch, grilled chicken, etc., etc. So that's a lot of information, and but it's a lot better. It's a little bit more relevant to me. But let's say I want to now share the next tip, which is give it parameters. So I'm just going to write that down. So next tip is give it parameters. So what do I mean by that? So basically I want to give it boundaries. So because this is everything. So let's say I want to focus more on the food aspect. So maybe, I already know I love the outdoors, so I'm probably going to do more outdoor activities. I know I already love hiking, but maybe it's more around the food side that I don't know too much about, like the science of it and that sort of thing. So I'm going to say, okay, I want more focused info on food. And then basically, because I'm Indonesian, so I heard that your ethnicity affects what foods process better in your body. Okay, one more focus info on food to lose weight. Just tips around that. I heard that your ethnicity affects what foods process better in your body, e.g. carbs in some, ethnicities are handled better. Ethnicities handled better. So, but I don't want it to be overkill. So let's give it parameters. So just say, actually intermittent fast. So a bit more context. I intermittent fast already. So give me a plan, and let's go for lunch and dinner for 3 days. Yeah. So let's see what it comes up with. So I want more focused info on food to lose weight, tips around that. I had that with any of it as well. So since you're already doing intermittent fasting, we can focus more on meal planning that aligns with your dietary needs. So while genetics and ethnicity can influence things like insulin sensitivity and carbohydrate tolerance, it's important to note that most people benefit from a balanced approach. So in general, Indonesian backgrounds like Asian ethnicities may have a slightly higher tolerance to carbs, especially when they come from whole unprocessed sources like rice, etc. However, it doesn't mean carbs are free or should be overeaten, etc. So tips for losing weight. So moderate carb intake, focus on lean proteins, fish, chicken, tempeh, incorporate healthy fats, avocado, coconut oil, etc. Vegetables are key, half your plate with veggies, 3-day lunch and dinner plan. So yeah, it tells me optimum, these are the hours I actually do eat. So you're intermittent fasting, so your window to eat is 8 hours. So lunch, grilled tempeh and stir-fry veggies. Okay, great. So as you can see, it's given me a plan, and this time it's much more detailed. I've limited it to 3 days because let's say I want to try it out for 3 days. So let's say I like this, but I actually don't like tempeh. So I'm just looking at some of the examples. I don't really like tempeh, even though it's an Indonesian thing. So let's say, I'll just say that I don't like tempeh. Update the results. So now it'll give me, okay, so chicken, fish, chicken, shrimp, etc., etc. Great. So on top of that, so again, I can kind of give it even more context. So, or I can get more information from this as well. So it's given me a bit of a meal plan. But let's say I'm not actually much of a cook, which is true. So let's say I actually want some recipes. So give me 3 recipes. Now, so just before I do this, actually, I'm going to do it first, and then I'm going to share the last tip that, again, has helped me immensely with just getting better results. So I'm just going to say, give me 3 recipes for, let's just say, maybe lunch. I want to keep it simple and make dinner my, important meal, since I won't be eating for the longest time after dinner. So give me 3 recipes for dinner based on the above plan. Okay, so first I'll just give it something just general to get more information. So there you go, grilled chicken salad, etc. And we've got fish, we have beef satay. So now I'm already looking at this, and I'm the kind of person where I don't like too many ingredients. Again, we can make it more refined. So we're going to say, I am not a great cook. Give me recipes with 5 ingredients or less. But just before I say, give that to me, this is the last tip that, again, has been a game changer for me, which is give it a persona. So I'm just going to add that to my notes. So persona. So what do I mean by that? Let's go back here. So let's try to think of who is an amazing cook. There's lots of amazing cooks, but I'm just thinking someone who I've known since childhood, and sometimes he does do more simple recipes, is Jamie Oliver. So I want to tell ChatGPT that he's Jamie Oliver. So I've said, I'm not a great cook. Give me recipes with 3 ingredients or less. So just before I put that, I'm going to say, you are Jamie Oliver, the most well-known cook, for many decades. You've worked with people who, hate cooking or find it overwhelming, like me. But you know how to make someone like me fall in love with cooking. Okay, so now give me recipes with 5 ingredients or less that, optimize on flavor, yeah. So let's see what it says now. All right. I love this challenge. As Jamie Ola, I know how important it is to keep things simple but flavor packed, especially for someone who finds cooking a bit overwhelming or just doesn't want to spend hours in the kitchen. The trick is using high quality fresh ingredients, letting them shine. Well, we're talking meals that will take you 20 minutes less. Perfect. 5 ingredients of your. So here are 3 easy recipes. No stress, just good food. Grilled chicken with lemon and herbs. So chicken, lemon, olive oil, salt, etc. Next, salmon with honey and mustard glaze. There you go. And then garlic butter shrimp. These I actually will use. I'm just thinking, looking at it, because I do like kind of very simple stuff. But yeah, so there you go. So these are 3 tips that have helped me with just getting better results when it comes to the ChatGPT AI kind of tool. So I'm just going to my tips just to summarize. Again, how do we use ChatGPT more effectively? My top 3 tips is give it context. So it's okay if you start with a very broad question that spits out this answer that reminds you it needs more context. But secondly, give it parameters or boundaries. I only want 3 things. I only want a plan for 3 days. If it's like words, like, you've gotten it to draft something for you or summarize something, I want this in 3 sentences. I want the 5 things from this article that are the most important. So parameters. Even I've done this a lot. Like, I want you to rewrite this and limit it to 500 words, for example. And lastly is give it a persona. So in the case of, cooking, I use a person. So when it comes to people, it has to be someone really famous, but otherwise you can just say you're a famous cook who is really good at blah, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But other examples of persona could be, so let's say it's about, say money. You want to learn how to just manage your money better. So your persona could be, you are, one of the top investors in the world. And you have learned from, billionaires and millionaires, and what are 5 things you would share to someone like me who's just getting started and wanting to build my savings so I can start investing, for example. So yeah, but other than that, yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. And but yeah, I would love to know in the comments what are some things that you're using ChatGPT for, and are there any tips that you have actually applied that have given you much better results? But otherwise, I did promise to say why at the very beginning I have not been streaming, even though I had planned to do it consistently every week. It's actually because of this one realization, which is I really need to focus on one thing to see it to completion. So I suffer from shiny object syndrome. For those of you who have this, you will immediately know what that means. But for those of you who don't know what that is, basically it just means that I'm working on something, but I find myself getting excited about trying something new. And I end up stopping something I've started and moving to a new project after a new project after a new project. And why I'm like this, I'd say it's because I really value learning. So the problem is I learn very quickly and I get bored. And so then I find myself craving to learn something different. The problem with that, obviously, is I have a lot of unfinished projects. So I recently, kind of found this really, really great sort of personal development sort of course. And it reminded me that I guess getting the best of both worlds is because I'm definitely the sort of person where I just cannot do the same thing forever because it will just bore me to tears. But the middle ground for me that I'm trying to apply now is I'm just going to focus on my main project, or it's two main projects because one I'm doing partnership. So one is I started a streetwear brand called Shift Creations. So I'm just going to focus on that because that one actually has traction of everything that I've ever done. So I'm going to fully focus on that for the next, 12 to 18 months to get it to a stage where I can replace myself in it, inshallah. And then I'll move on to the other projects that I'm kind of excited to explore, which is another project called Cat Lovers Co, because I'm a huge cat fanatic. So it's kind of like a also merch, but for cat lovers. But I'll do that after I have succeeded with Shift Creations, inshallah. Yeah, other than that, thank you for listening, and I hope that you have a great final few hours of 2024 and a very blessed and fulfilling 2025. Stay safe until next year. Bye.